Another weekday. I'm not so bothered when it gets to the weekend. I'm like, oh my god, for that. I'm often found to be saying, Seth, I don't want to hear it. I think you're fine. Today's Saturday, yeah. It's my day off. Yeah, everything to chit chat. Any other related and or questions. You know, if you could busy yourself over there, I'll be here, watching you from afar, smoking away. Off you trot. And it's that's I don't want to know. Why do I need to know? I'm available all week. Saturday, goodbye. I do that. Probably because I'm old and or a bitch. But yes, it's Wednesday today. It is. So on the list for today, I do a little list every day. Look, helps me out. Look, there we go. And I've got them for every day. So I'll write down depending on what subject we're doing and what lesson. So I've got them. All the work I'd like to cover today doesn't always happen. Things get thrown up in your face, you know, random, unannounced knocks at the door. Doesn't take that lot to deal with. Then and or, you know, then the couple of emails that will then generate to deal with have to be slotted in. You know, that extended lunch break you didn't really plan on. Put through that a bit, but there we are. Never mind. It's Wednesday, another day. So, on the list today is a science lesson. Yes. So we're covering the body, sensory organs, the organ of hearing and balance, commonly known as the ears. And we've got 5 senses, as you know. It's a directive that the child should know about. She's covered it, but not in this much depth. So, but we're acquired from some charity shop somewhere, I don't know. It's very informative and uses scientific straight medical words and references. The language is of a more medical scientific content. So it's good to challenge her with that. You know, it's science. Why not? So what I've done is I've gone through the book. I've written it, copied it out directly. Each section. That was a while ago. Well, not a while ago, about a week ago. We did all that. And that helps me learn. That helps me become familiarised with the concept, what they say. It's my reference, it's my notes. Well, I could do it on the laptop, 9 times that she's watching it. And, funnily enough, she can't barely open a packet of crisps, but there's keys missing. So even though I can touch type and go, oh yeah, there's the E then. It's not easy. And we haven't got a printer. Yes, there are ways around that, and you know, whatever. I'm old school. I like to write. I had to write. That's how I did work. How I prefer to work is what works for me. And I find it makes it easier for me to identify the patterns I get wrong. It just does. It's how I taught myself. It's how I do it now. So many years later on. So, out of them notes, direct copying for my reference, I've then made information sheets for Jasmine. Obviously all of it ain't now, what's the point in that, copying it twice. It's in her language. The information is there. So we'll read that together. We'll discuss it. She'll ask me questions. We'll clarify it. She then gets given that information, those sheets, hers. Her point of reference. Don't know how many questions I have done, quite a few. It's quite a long section, so there's at least 6 here. It's got 10 questions, that'll please. I've created 10 questions that she'll use those sheets from. She can read, she's a good reader. In order to have the information's there's no trick, it's there. So she's got to say, number 1, what other sensory organ does your hearing have the same significance as? Yeah. So it's either touch, vision, taste or smell. And I put, please tick which one is right. Number 2, your ears detect oscillations emitted, brackets sound waves, absorbed by the ear, acting as a sound carrier. so they can reach your ears. What number must oscillations not exceed, so go above, be higher than, in order for a sound still to be audible to a human? It's 20,000. Number 3. Many animals, for example, dogs, have considerably better hearing capacities than a human. Does a dog have the capacity to register and detect oscillations either above or below that of a human? So, 20,000. You know, she get this right. She's read it. Should have got it. It's demonstrated she's learned, to be fair. How are lone tones in sound created? Is number 4. Number 5. Oscillations exceeding 20,000 per second are referred to as ultrasound. Ultrasound devices have many different uses. Please name 3 uses of ultrasound. What unit of this is number 6. What unit of measurement is frequency of sound measured in? Number 7. What increases the volume, so loudness, of a sound? Number 8. What measurement is used to record the loudness, in brackets volume, of a sound? Number 9. What 3 sections can your ear be divided into? Number 10. I thought, why not? Just add it on. Not everybody's got impeccable hearing. Number 10. If you cannot hear at all, by what name is this disability known? Now that's not in there. You like to think you knows that, isn't it? I mean, when I was working within, an office in a so-called support service environment, they're always coming up with new names for disabilities, PC ones. But as far as I'm aware, I haven't looked this up. If you cannot hear at all, you're deaf. That's just what it is. I don't think it's changed. Or if you have challenged hearing, let's say, so you can hear a bit, or I don't know, multiple ways it can work. You're hearing impaired. That's what I thought. I don't know. But I do know. We had to do this. We were told about it. Some meeting or some training, yeah. Bearing in mind, this is anywhere between 2002 to 2008. I think it's somewhere in the middle, to be fair. People have epilepsy. They have for a number of years, you know. There's a common reference term used when you're, having a little meeting. You're there. It weren't interactive. It was a whiteboard. He had pens. So, come on. Let's generate some ideas here. Let's have a brainstorm, yeah. Get all our ideas on the board and we'll work from there, shall we? Okay then. But you weren't allowed to say brainstorm no more. No. Because it was considered offensive to people with epilepsy, so they said. I never heard any complaining, but then again, I don't need to know if anyone's got epilepsy, not my business. However, I was encouraged to say this. Let's have a thought shower. I did vocalise my, as you can imagine and appreciate. Oh, I wasn't silent within meetings. I was like, come on, that was more behind closed doors in the pub after work, perhaps, maybe. What about this whole bullshit and everything? It's what you said today. What did I know? Bullshit. When are they going to stop? Thought shower. That sort of thing. In the meeting, I was more like, not so easily offensive towards other people, who, of course, in turn, be having brainstorms you wouldn't know unless there are any other signs, and they're offended by, that being lent to a word situation. But there we go. So, I've not finished. Never do with teaching. It always goes on. It's a continuous process, you see, learning. Then, we've got a grammar book, very good book. It lends itself well to independent activities, so she loves her grammar. She needs to know. She needs to know. But what's did yesterday was rush. It's identifiable from the writing I read. Oh, why did it look like that? What happened here? Were you in a rush? Yeah. Oh. So she brings it over and looks at it. Oh, what? They taught to use to put a space in between it. They call it finger spacing. So, you know. I was like, well, there's a distinct absence of finger space. I'm struggling to read this, Jasmine. Normally your writing's very good, the things, but what's happened? Oh, you know. She doesn't want to admit any risk at all. Never ever doubt. She doesn't. She hasn't quite grasped the concept of admitting that responsibility. Or say, you know, oh yeah, well, you know, the thing is, she's very good at that. No, not then. I was like, well, go on then. Tell me about what was it? Oh, I can't. So tell me what it means then. You know, in the context, blah blah blah. She said, okay, this did happen. She said, yeah. I said, you've read it. You've written all about it. Go on. Tell me now, what did you learn? You've been doing it 30 or so minutes. You rushed it for whatever reason. You know, carry on. She said, there. Is there a problem, Jasmine? She said, there. She goes, what are you doing, Michael? How's that going to help you? I'm thinking, okay. You've literally just read it, Jazz. It's not, you know, wasn't like I'm asking you what you read last week or from 6 months ago. You're not sure? She doesn't want to say this. She goes, hang on. It's here somewhere in my mind. I try and practice it. What about, you know, it still doesn't work? I said, so, am I right here, Jess? What? So, well, you rushed your work, yeah. There's no thing. I'm struggling to read what you've written, but it's there. You have written it, which indicates to me you've worked through the activity. Is that right? Yeah. Okay then. So, and now you can't recall what you've read, or you know you've not. Have you not understood it? Yeah, I have understood. Right. Okay then. But you're not familiar with how this term works within the realm of grammar. She doesn't want to speak. Anyway, that's just an example of how she operates. So, you know. Then we've got art today. I don't do enough art, to be fair, but she does it out of school, so. Today it's create your own bookmark. We've got loads of art stuff, so you can get on, won't take long. Now, we have a spelling challenge every day. And I call it a spelling challenge because I hate the word test. Terrifies them. There's a few kids here, but they always like, hello, don't call me miss or whatever. Hello, Rachel, you alright, Jasmine's mum? Yeah. Oh, good. And they have a good day, love at school. What did you learn today? You know, and they're happy to chat to you. A couple are going through SATs, year 6. They're terrified. Don't put any stress on yourself, please. It's not worth that. Honestly, they're there to see, you know, after being in reception 1 blah, 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 to 6, you're going in a big transit, you're going to a new school, aren't you? Yeah, senior school. So all they want to do is gauge how much you've learned. Oh, you know, it's not what the fucking teachers tell them, let's put it that way. And this is just my opinion. Teachers will create no end of fuss around it. It's stifle death if you don't sit here, demonstrate your learning over all these years, demonstrate this within the allotted time, down in this format. Pretty much they believe they're going to be shot at gunpoint in the playground. That's the impression I get. I said, no. I said, nothing. You're not accountable here. I said, you're just a pupil. Yeah, you got to sit there in whatever conditions they create. I don't know, silence within a time frame on a piece of paper. It's got to be sent off and marked. So that, yeah, well, they've done loads of practice. They know the format. I says, guess who is accountable there? Who? The teacher. Oh, what do you mean? Well, it's my understanding that the class teacher of year 6 and or then the deputy and the head get these results back, and it's some indication as to how they can teach a child. Ah, well, yeah, ain't it? So you've got two factors here. You've got a child who's there, you'd hope, willing to learn, and you'd hope a teacher there who's willing to teach appropriately to every child individually and as a group within that class to heighten their awareness and indeed teach different blah 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 blah. So just don't worry about it. Do it. Obviously I'm not saying don't do it. Do it. Do it to the best of your ability. Then fucking forget about it. It's a 6 week. Your job's done, mate. Good luck at senior school. You know, because they're nearly in tears over it. Awful. At that age as well. So anyway, going back to that, I've done blah 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 whatever in the past. We don't use the word. Here we are, kids. It's a spelling test. Come on, I'm going to terrify particularly those what struggle with literature in front of everyone. It's a test. We don't do that. We call it a spelling challenge. So, I don't know, from books, from memory, that's a good one. Yeah, she has done that. She should know that. Blah, blah, blah. Why not? It's a challenge. So, 10 words. I've got my words in front of me. She's got the 1 to 10 written on her book. And I read it out, sound it out, spell it out, sound it out, try and give it, you know, I give a definition of what it is if she's not familiar with the word. She sits there, writes it down, spells it. Yeah, in turn. She likes it, she enjoys this. Yeah, so come on then, bring it over. Let's see how if your spelling matches mine. So we go down the list. So that's good, well done. Or you could have done this and blah 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 blah. So support her learning. So then in her book, I write in my lovely handwriting each word, put a line down the middle. She goes off to read my spelling and then write it out herself, so it's in her own writing. She's looked at it, gives you the chance to memorise it. Yeah, she's written it down. Are you ready to go again, Jazz? Yeah. So she actually can't see them. We turn the page. I read the words out 1 to 10 again. She then writes them down. Comes back. You'd think, or you'd hope, you'd see improvement, not regression. Pretty much what happens. So, not only has she got the chance to become familiar with, I don't know, a word that possibly wasn't within her radar, vocabulary, she can now spell it. For example, one of yesterday's words was silhouette. Useful word to know. She can spell it now. She didn't even know. Oh, I didn't. What's the difference between silhouette and shadow? There is one. Oh, okay then. You know. You start with something easy within their grasp. For example, yesterday was sultana, which according to the dictionary is a white dried grape. I was like, hang on. I know the dried grapes here. I know a sultana bears a different appearance from a raisin. So what's a raisin? So I look at raisin. It's a dried grape. I'm like, doesn't really help me. It should say, you know, whatever. There we go. We won't be pedantic today. So we've got that. And then somewhere, I can mix these around. It's not set in stone. They're here to do when I want to do them as appropriate. It's down to me to decide. Not Jasmine. Because, you know, is it playtime? You know, so... Independent reading, we do this every day, 30 minutes, Siege Reading Matilda by Roald Dahl. Then, we've got some maths. I've got to finish that, it won't take too long now. Equations. Doesn't really matter what year it possibly is. Studied within Key Stage 2. Could be year 6, maybe. Tough. She's very clever. She needs to be challenged. We're doing it. We're covering the concept of equations today. Then, there's an English, should be called literacy, lesson. And there's some very good books called Big Dreams, Little People. Loads of people in the public eye. Dead, historical, current, you know, that sort of thing. We've seen them in Waterstones. And luckily for me, some people, often kids, will read one out on YouTube with the pictures. We'll talk about what we're talking about today. Happens to be the author Agatha Christie. So there's a video, Big Dreams Little People. She can watch it, yeah. And then I'll read to her. I've got some notes about her that I've acquired off my favourite page. And then we're going to be looking at the techniques employed by the author in order to create a murder mystery novel. She is the most successful selling novelist. She is. They haven't been beating yet. I doubt it will. Then she's going to be presented with the opportunity to write her own murder mystery story. So that's that. And then at the end of the day, I suspect today, she'll go on then, off you go. She'll go onto her laptop, type in Wakefield, whatever they are, I don't know how to pronounce it, liveness camera on YouTube, and she'll continue with her daily observations. And no, she's good at that. She's seeing the mum now. She's very interested. So yeah, that's just today. That's what we're doing. We have break in the morning, yeah. Kick about before school. Football. It's nice weather, ain't it? Why not? And lunch an hour. And a little break in the afternoon. It'll get done. Wednesday.